how women lose attraction for you while dating or even while talking to her, right? A lot of guys often think that relationships just end all of a sudden, like they are with their babe, and all of a sudden she just left him. Why would she do such a thing? But you guys don't understand the fact that this thing has been built up for a long time. If you're in that situation where you feel like my baby's losing interest, or she just ended the relationship, or you're in a situation where you even want to avoid this situation, stay true to them, because I'm just going to tell you things that will help you to maintain attraction while you're in a relationship, and also while you're talking to that babe, so she doesn't lose interest. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into the video. So basically, I'll just go straight into the point. A lot of guys often think that women just lose interest immediately, but they don't know it's more like building a house. It's built up till it gets to a stage where they're finally ready to leave, and then guys keep thinking like she just left all of a sudden, which is basically not true. So yeah, I've seen situations basically, and I'm going to just tell you a few tips on how to avoid it. First of all, a lot of guys often forget that who they were before they enter the relationship, because once you enter a relationship or you start getting very close, whether a relationship or a situation or whatever you have with that babe, you start getting more comfortable with her, you get what I mean? But they often forget who they were before the relationship, and that's how sometimes when you leave the relationship, you lose a bit of yourself because you don't know who you were again. They've stripped up everything from you. She has indirectly stripped up every good aspect of you that you love about yourself. But when you enter the relationship, you changed yourself. And one thing I've realized so far is that when you're in a relationship, your babe is going to tell you a lot of things to do, right? And it's now left to you. I'm not saying that you should never listen to her, or I'm not meaning bad for your babe. Sorry, the noise. I was trying to avoid that. But yeah, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't mean good for your babe, or you shouldn't like also a point of view. But most often times, a lot of things they do is just how they feel at that moment, and most times guys answer every single thing, and then when you now actually assess everything before she left, you realize it's because you've been following every single thing she did, right? I remember one of my ex then and all, and there's sometimes I would love to go to the gym. You're going to the gym a lot, you're doing this a lot, and everything like that. And I know she obviously wanted good, she wanted us to have more time. But if I kept on listening to her and I stopped going to the gym, I won't look the way I looked while she met me, right? I'll start losing myself. And I really remember seeing a picture of a guy before he dated. They showed him before he dated and after he dated, and they showed him he was buff, right? And then after he was retired, he has pork belly, and people were like, how did you let yourself go, right? But indirectly you're picking up a lot of things. So that's one of the first things I would say when dating or very close with a babe, is to be very careful of the things you listen to, right? You have to filter out relevant for you and things that are going to make her lose interest for you, right? And so that's one of the first things I would say. Be very observant, because most times you forget yourself. You're in a relationship, you often forget that, oh shit, I should actually like still focus on myself and do things for myself, because it's not just the relationship in itself. So one of the things I would say is firstly, be observant. Be very observant when you're with your babe, and pick up things that okay, this thing is going to emasculate me. This is not what I'm so used to, right? Like for example, maybe she wants you guys to be spending more time, and then you have works to do. You need to be at the gym, but then you'll be like, okay, let me compromise. Instead of you going to the gym the normal times you go, maybe 4 times or 5 times a week, now you've reduced it to 2 because you want to accommodate her. And then you often complain what's going on and all this kind of situation. Those are the things, because once she starts seeing you as not as buff as you were before, or not the same good physique you had, she often starts to lose interest for you, because you get what I mean. But she's indirectly pushing that, you get me? So that's one of the first things I would say. Secondly, notice that, and this one thing I would say is, there's no amount of money, right, there's no amount of money you spend on a woman that will change the fact of how she sees you. And let me explain what I mean. So oftentimes, obviously, guys, they always like, just get the bag, get the money and everything, you'll be alright. But I'll be honest with you, you could give a woman every single thing she asks for, and she will still leave you. So you have to be very wise about how you're dealing with things, right? And one of the best things I would say is, I'll be honest with you, you can't say yes to everything your babe asks you to do. You just have to be frank with yourself, because if you give her access, or if you give her that privilege to, if you always constantly say yes to, oh babe, let's do this, yes, let's do this, yes, oh I want this, yes, you want this, yes, you want this, yes, so you often lose sight of the fact that you are meant to be the man in the relationship. You're also meant to be like more like having that little father figure. You get that kind of thing of saying, babe, no, I don't want you doing this, or I don't think we should do this. You get that kind of thing. Let it be an equal balance, because a lot of you guys often say yes to a lot of things. And I'm not saying you should always disagree, but there should still be an healthy balance of knowing when to say no and when to say yes. It's not every single thing she says, let's do this, you say yes, because I'm not going to lie, she's going to lose attraction for you. There are just some things, subtly she may even ask you just for you to say no, and you say yes, and she's like, this guy is just. And one of the signs behind you saying yes, and people don't understand, is the fact that the more you say yes, it's like you don't want to offend her, and then you're putting her on the pedestal, you're giving her that she's higher than you, I don't want to offend her, so I'm going to say yes to everything she says. And that's what she sees, and that's what she reads. So you have to be very smart about what you're doing, and observant, and knowing that, okay, I don't think I'm saying yes to this, babe, I don't think we should do this. If she mumbles, you guys will still get back together, right? You will still argue it out and everything, but always know when to say no and when not to say yes. You get that kind of thing. So she knows that, okay, this guy has structure, this guy has a good head on his shoulders, right? So that's one of the things I would also say. So the next thing I would say for you guys to prevent or are not losing interest in you, talk to other people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go and cheat with other people. Have friends, have female friends, so have people around you, interact with females too. Because you have a girlfriend doesn't mean you never talk to any girl in your life again, like you never interact, just a hi, or like normal friends. So know when to talk to other people, right? Interact with other females, not just because you have a baby, you never talk to women in your life again. Don't do that. Just talk to other women, let them know that you still have good communication skills to be able to interact with a lot of people, right? That's one thing I would say. And lastly, honestly, still know your purpose, because a lot of you guys lose track of who you are when you enter a relationship, or even talking to babes, or becoming a bit more closer with babes. You tend to neglect your hobbies that you actually love doing before, because of her, and you're entertaining a lot of her own hobbies, because you're meant to bring her into your own life, not you entering her own life. Same mutual way, right? You bring her into your life and a part of you, right? So don't lose sight of things you love before you met your babe. Don't lose sight of that, because she notices that, and girls read a lot of things. So when she notices all these things subtly going off, she's already planning her next sex date, right? She's planning it, and all of a sudden she wakes up the next day and be like, babe, I don't think this relationship can work. You're an amazing guy, you're a good guy. This is how it be. But babe, you're a good guy. But I think it's my fault. I think it's an issue for me, right? I think it's an issue for me. I'm the one. It's you're a good person. It's not your issue. It's mine, and that's how it's always like. So honestly, it's just a quick thing. I just felt like sharing with you guys. But yeah, it's all love. Peace.